What's up? Got a 2004 FZ6 be doing a HID conversion on. So this particular bike, you've got a H7 bulb on the left side of the bike. I guess you call it the driver's side. Right side is an H4, which on this bike is kind of like your high beam only. So what we're gonna end up doing here too is gonna try to retain the high beam and also have it as a low beam, so it has 2 headlights instead of 1. So what I got is a DDM tuning high-low kit, and with the H4 bulbs. It's only going to use one of them. And then I just bought some H7s. So basically what's going to happen here, it's going to use the high-low kit and use that H7 bulb. A couple small bells, probably be able to tuck them in the side there. So let's get going on this. Alright, so the first thing you gotta do is get this tank up. It's a couple of 5mm Allens holding the tank down, but also gotta get these side panels off too. So there's a couple of 4mm Allen heads on there. And up here too, next to the instrument cluster. Alright, so on the mirrors here you gotta pull up this rubber piece, and then you got a couple of clips here. These things can kind of be a pain because the back side's got to be kind of squished for this to screw out. So you might have to put a flat blade screwdriver on here, kind of pry it back, or get your fingers on the back side and try squeezing these so this will back out of there, and then these panels will come off. Take the off. Alright, so with the body panels removed, got access to the inside here. It's kind of grunged up, and it's going to be basically double-sided taping the ballasts in this area. So we're going to have to clean this up really nice. Going to want to use a water-based cleaner, like a glass cleaner will work for this. So we'll get in here, we'll clean this up, and we'll start pulling these bulbs apart. Alright, this is the H7 side. There's actually a little spacer that goes on here that I had to do some modification to, so I'm going to show you that real quick. Alright, so this is the H7 that came out of the bike. You see how it's got this plastic spacer on here. So DDM Tuning actually sells these spacers for the H7 bulbs. So I bought them because I didn't know if I'd need them or not, and it's a good thing I did buy them because I need them. But they don't really fit in there very well. So what you're going to have to do is cut this spacer down. First thing you have to do is make the back side bigger. See, on this one I had to hog that out. Just used a thin cutting bit. And then I use this stone. You're going to have to grind down all the edges. Like this has got this big nub here. You got to cut that down. And basically all these ends are going to have to be cut, like cut this down to close to these posts, and then these sides are going to have to be shaved down too. See on this one? This actually broke, but that's fine. Still fits in there okay. But basically without this spacer, the bulb just kind of wants to flop around in there. So definitely going to need the spacers. So be prepared for that. Make sure you get them. Make sure you got a Dremel tool. You know, the proper bits to cut this stuff out of here so it fits in there real nice. Alright, so I got everything kind of mocked up here. I know this is going to be hard to see or understand to a certain degree, but got the 2 bulbs in there. You know, the H4 on the right side and the H7 on the left. H7's got that spacer on there. I've got the ballast. I got 2-phase tape on. I mean, I've just got all this stuff laid in here because I wanted to test it out, make sure everything's going to work before I go trying to run all this wiring and all that. So, like, you know, this is the high-low harness. This side we're not using the high-low controller because it's not a high-low bulb. But on the other side, that's all hooked up on this side. And the harness is basically plugged into The HID harness is plugged into this side, the side that had the H4 bulb. Okay, and then I've just got jumper leads, like each ballast has a ground wire coming off of it. So I just got that jumped onto the ground side of the battery and actually connected the power lead to the battery, so I'm going to test this out. Alright, so they're both on. Do the high beam. Can't really see it. Alright, so we know everything works. Alright, so got the controller two-phase tape onto the fairing there. And that's the ballast. Actually used mounting brackets that I got from DDM tuning for that. Same thing with this side. The ballast is down here. Kind of hard to see, but it's just tapped into this. Same thing, got the mounting bracket on there. Alright, so got this all finished up. Got the high beam working. Everything's cool on that. A couple things with this, like, don't forget on this side, your wiring for the high-low kit, just wrap some electrical tape around that wire. I got it tucked underneath here, or else I'd show you, but you know, you figure you're not using that. This side doesn't have a high beam. So just make sure you wrap some electrical tape around there. And then the other thing too, we had some trouble with the battery, trying to get the battery reconnected. It's almost like there's little threaded bricks that go inside of the battery, and we were having big trouble with the negative side. So what I ended up doing was taking a small piece of that two-sided, that double-face tape, and I just put it on one side of that little block, and I left the backing piece on there so it would slide in there, and that just kind of held it up enough to get the threads to bite. So yeah, it turned out pretty good. 4300K. Still got the high beam.